everyone, welcome to our bachelor herd. Today we're going to be giving our two boys some pumpkins for enrichment. We have Baylor and Duncan behind me here, and hopefully they're going to smash some pumpkins for you. My name is Ren, and if you guys have any questions, please type in those questions and we will pan over to them smashing some pumpkins. If you guys want to get into the Halloween spirit like Baylor here, we will be having Zoo Boo the entire month. It is included in your admissions as well as free for any member, and that will be going on all month long. So come out and enjoy some pumpkin smashing. All of our animals here at the Houston Zoo get pumpkins some way, shape, or form, or at least most of them, and we use that for enrichment. So all of our animals get some form of enrichment, whether it be food, things that they can push around and play with. It helps them we want to get their natural behaviors going. So not necessarily are they smashing pumpkins in the wild, but they are roaming around in dense foresty areas and kind of pushing logs, foraging for food and things like that. So this is a similar thing you guys are watching Baylor and Duncan doing. Every time you guys visit the zoo, a portion of your ticket sales goes towards supporting our partners in the wild. So we support Dr. Farina in Borneo, and we're able to actually see her collaring elephants, and watching that numbers in the last couple of years have actually been rising. So that's really cool to see in our wild population. You guys probably can notice that it's not just pumpkin that they're eating. These guys are actually eating a special hay as well inside of those pumpkins. They don't get that hay every day. Like I said, we try to give them enrichment that is not the same every single day. We want to keep their minds stimulated. We want to keep them thinking and give them something a little different on a regular basis. The two elephants that you guys are looking at currently is Baylor in front of you, and he is 12. His brother is Duncan. He's a little bit smaller one, and he is 8 years old. They are just two of three bachelor elephants that we have here at the Houston Zoo. They share this exhibit on a regular basis. A lot of you come to the zoo, you're probably going to see them playing in the pool for the most part. But during October, they're going to probably be playing with pumpkins more often than the pool. Each elephant with their pumpkins reacts a little bit differently. We have a female named Tess, and she is going to eat that entire pumpkin in a very quick manner. Boys are more of a smash them and then slowly kick them around. And then the females, I think the females kind of like to eat them a little bit more than Baylor and Duncan. Baylor and Duncan are the smashers. You may notice that our two boys here have tusks. And if you were to come to visit the zoo, you're going to notice that one of the yards, all of our females do not have tusks. So one yard's going to have tusks and one yard's not. So that's common in the Asian elephants. So only the males in Asian elephants get and grow those tusks, like you're looking at Duncan's right there. Duncan is still young, so his are growing, and they'll get longer as well as a little bit thicker as he gets a little bit older. But the females do not get tusks. So if you see our elephants here at the Houston Zoo, you may see some of our little boys in the other yard starting to get theirs as they get older, and then transition kind of to our bachelor herd. But as of right now, in this yard, we just have two of our younger bachelor boys. How often do they get pumpkins? So these guys are lucky enough that we get pumpkins delivered every single week. So for your Zoo Boo on the weekends, you guys are more than likely going to see some kind of animal here at the Houston Zoo with a pumpkin form of enrichment. So we get about 10 pumpkins, I think it is, every weekend that we kind of spread out amongst the herd that we have. And then the enrichment food-wise kind of changes with the season. So sometimes in the summer they're going to have watermelons, and then they're going to get pumpkins. It all kind of depends on that season and what's in stock for that season. Like I said, for those of you guys that are maybe just joining in on our Facebook Live, if you want to get into the Halloween spirit, just like Duncan here in front of you, make sure you come and check out our zoo boo that is happening all October. And it's presented to you guys by LyondellBasell. So it is free with your admission, as well as, it's free with your admission and as well as free for members. So if you pay to get in, you are also supporting to save these guys in the wild. Save our Borneo elephants that we've actually seen with our partner, Dr. Farina. We've had seen some incline in their numbers, which we're really happy to see. And you are supporting those partners that we have out in the wild. Monica asks, what is their favorite vegetable? That is a really good question because each one has their own favorite or likes or dislikes. So we have in this yard particularly Duncan and Baylor like everything, but they get some special things for training such as like bread and things like that. But what they really like is what you guys are looking at is like the different things that they get, the pumpkins and the watermelons and things like that. We do have a female named Tess who loves kale. And then some elephants like things a little sweeter. Some elephants like things that are not as sweet and not sound as great to us, but they actually really like it. So they get, as a whole though, they get sweet potatoes, carrots, apples, kale, and anything like that. These guys are very much food motivated and are not picky usually when it comes to food. Courtney asks, what is Duncan's favorite toy or enrichment? So I love that question because Duncan's favorite, I'd have to say, is a raft that we've made. And it actually is just fire hose, old fire hose kind of weaved together, and you will see him running in and out of the pool with that either on his back like a blanket, kicking it around, and then you'll hear him trumpeting and kind of making a lot of vocalizations, which is really entertaining to watch. Sometimes I think when it touches his leg in the pool, he freaks out and then realizes it was his toy again. But he's probably, that's his main go-to toy that you'll get very entertained watching him play with. How can you help save them in the wild? So just educating yourself about these guys and what's happening in the wild. But like I said, simply coming to the zoo, the portion of your ticket that you pay to get into the zoo goes towards helping our partners and supporting our partners in the wild. We have Dr. Farina out in the wild who is collaring elephants, and she's able to see a trend that since now our boys are going to fight over our pumpkins. So since we've been collaring them and monitoring them, we've actually seen an increase with those Bornean elephants. So, like I said, you guys, if you've already come to the zoo, you have already supported our elephant population and kept in the wild. Waylon asks, what is their diet? So their main diet, these guys are herbivores, so their main diet is actually hay, coastal hay here at the Houston Zoo. In the wild, these guys are eating things out of trees, they're eating grasses and things like that, so we supplement that here. We have an amazing horticulture team that gives us any non-toxic browse that we can give out to these guys. These guys actually need to chew on those sticks and things like that to kind of help with their diet. So they get a lot of browse, which is anything trimmed off trees that these guys are able to eat, and that will not make them sick. So they get a lot of browse, and they get about, the high end is going to be about 30 bales of hay a day amongst the herd, which is the 13 of them. And then like they get, as well as the hay, they're also going to get their vegetables like we talked about a little bit earlier. Sweet potatoes, carrots, apples, and things like that, and a little bit amount of grain as well, but they don't get much grain. Their main diet is going to be hay. How long do they sleep? So again, if you come visit us here at the Houston Zoo or any zoo that has elephants, you may see elephants that are just looking like their trunk is very relaxed and kind of resting on the ground. That is also an elephant sleeping, so they don't always have to just lay to sleep. These guys are very, very large, so they do have to eventually lay down to kind of give their body a rest. Anywhere between, you will see our elephants in human care actually laying down anywhere between like 4 and 6 hours. And then you may see them just get up to flip sides and things like that. So if they're really tired, they may get up and reposition because they're so large and it's a lot of weight on their organs and things like that. But for the most part, you're going to see our adult elephants taking just a rest with their trunks relaxed, and they're just kind of taking a rest throughout the day. You will also see, we have a professional napper, which is Tupelo. She is napping pretty much all the time. That's one of her hobbies. And then our babies will play very, very hard, and then they will have to take long naps as well. So you'll see a lot of little napping babies when you come to the zoo as well. What training do they do? Elephants, everybody knows elephants they are really, really smart. So we do a lot of husbandry training behaviors with these guys. And if you've been to the zoo, you notice we have a lot of babies. Though even those young babies that are a little over a year already know a lot of behaviors. And it's simply for our husbandry purposes, we're going to be doing behaviors like opening their mouth or presenting their feet. Looking at their tusks, looking into their eyes, their ears, everything from trunk tip to tail tip, we monitor every single day. So all of our behaviors, most of our behaviors are trained off of voluntarily them coming over to get any treatments that they might need. So build a relationship with these elephants so that if they ever get sick, we're able to call them over, and hopefully they have trust in us that we're helping them. So these guys, like I said, will voluntarily take injections as well. So it's less stressful on those animals as well as less stressful on us if they are coming over on their own. So we use positive reinforcement for them to come over and do those behaviors for us. And because elephants are super smart, you will watch them when they learn new behaviors run over to train with us. So they love that training. They love doing all of that stuff for us because they know that they get something really, really big. So like when we draw blood on them regularly, we will give them a watermelon or a melon after that. So they usually will come right over and present their ear because they get something really good at the end. And in turn, we're monitoring their health as well. How many elephants are here at the zoo? We have 15 total. And that includes our bachelor herd, our breeding bull Thailand, then as well as our family herd with about 5 babies included in there. We have a very wide range of elephants, kind of ranging from about 57 all the way to 1 to 57. So we are lucky to have a really cool family group over there with lots of babies playing with each other. We just wanted to thank you guys for joining in and watching Baylor and Duncan here with their pumpkin enrichment. Join us for our Facebook Live next Wednesday and Zubu that is presented by LyondellBasell.